start the stream. No. Okay, just 2 seconds. It's going to open my browser and then it's going to cause me all sorts of trouble. Okay, so a second. Right, where are you? Start the stream. Right, here it is. Right, okay, accept all. Start the stream. Yeah, okay, that's it. The stream is off. It's going. So I'll just let that be as it is. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so you'll be going out for a walk. Okay, that's
yes.
Good. What about you, Barbara? One for that.
The weekend, I'm going to mountains, to Bosco, just a light below Bosco, to clean the house. Because my husband has got a house. He inherited it from his parents, and he wants me to clean it because it is mine when I clean it.
Okay.
So he suggested, why don't we go up the mountains next Saturday? I was so hot, but so hot that he said yes, because I hate air conditioned. But I was invited to a walking indeed, but the walking will be cancelled for the bad weather. So maybe the cleaning of the house is cancelled.
Is the weather supposed to be bad this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't know. But
they told that
sorry?
Probably there will be a Sweden bad weather, which will come here in Italy.
Go cleaning. Bye. But if it becomes worse or colder, there is no point in going up and cleaning it. I don't know, but I went walking. I love going walking here because there is a group in Verona called Camminare in Verona, and they organize some walking around the city or just out mountains or lake or whatever. It is a very funny activity indeed.
It's a fun activity.
Yeah.
It's a fun activity. What's the difference between a fun activity and a funny activity?
It's funny. Or...
Yeah, what's the difference? There's a big difference.
Oh, funny, divertente.
No.
No, maybe not. You got me.
No, funny. It means it makes you laugh.
Okay. It's a fun activity.
It's more similar to buffo.
Okay.
Sì, fa ridere. È un. Okay. So what you say? So something is fun, which divertente.
Fun. Okay.
Or funny is.
It is also relaxing.
Makes me laugh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you're maybe go and clean the house. I'm just checking to see if there's a weather forecast for this weekend. But yeah, it looks a bit mixed actually, and it looks like the temperature is going to go down. Yeah, it's going to go down quite a bit over Saturday night. It's going to go down by about 10 degrees. Which is not bad.
I won't come to Bosco. I'm sorry. I was joking.
It's already a bit too chilly.
It has been very hot these days.
Yeah.
And I said it could be a great idea. Sleeping without the air conditioning.
Yeah.
But, it depends.
Yeah. Well, it's nice if you can get up into the mountains, I think. or into the hills, because that's one of the advantages of one of the things about here in Verona is that it's easy to get out into the hills, and it can be quite fresh. What's that place up in Molina, up in the Valpolicella? It's actually
waterfalls.
Yeah, it's a sort of like Sandra probably doesn't know it, but it's like a valley which is actually quite deep, and it's at the head of the valley there is a set of waterfalls, and so there's a constant airflow. There's a constant airflow, and at the bottom, at the town, at the end, let's say in the part of the valley which is nearest to Verona, it's San Pietro in Cariano. On an evening in the summer, there's quite often a really sort of quite a cool breeze comes down from that valley. It's actually quite long. It's a lovely place. It takes quite a while to get there, but it's well worth it. It's really nice. So it's good. What about you, Christina? What are you planning?
Well, I usually go to the mountains during the weekends, but the next weekend I will go to the city center because there will be an organization which opens the gates and let you visit the gardens. You have to pay for all the trip, and you can decide your route and visit. Some of them are private, some of them are by the local government, and but this is an opportunity to have a look about places, have a look on places that normally are closed to people.
Have a look at places, to visit places.
Look at.
So, which organisation is it that does that?
Well, it is probably made by the local
authority,
suburb, because it is called
the local
Veronetta.
authority.
Veronetta.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
I will subscribe during on Saturday afternoon, exactly there, without paying in advance. But I will go there, and in that place, I will subscribe for the trip or for the visit.
Yeah. So this will be on Saturday, probably.
Saturday and Sunday. And I went last year. It was very nice for me. It was a very hot day, but if, for instance, if you go inside Giardino Giusti Garden, you could have a very relaxing moment, and you can go on the shadow of the trees, so it's nice. You have to plan in advance your trip and be careful not to be under the sun during the hottest hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So is Giardini Giusti, has it been renovated? Because there was a big problem a few years ago. There was a big storm.
And I have to say, because I visited it many times in the past, for me it was like a heart, for the nature, because many very, very old trees which were more than 100 years old, were destroyed, by a storm. Like Vaya storm.
It was about 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I remember it was an extremely violent storm that afternoon. I remember.
2 years ago, there was a big storm in Verona.
Mm-hmm.
And Via, it was previously, I don't remember, 2017.
Yeah.
Or so. But also 2 years ago in August, there were many damages.
Yeah, there was a lot of damage. Yes,
a lot of damages.
Yeah.
And there was a very terrible storm with the floods. Very strange floods in August, you know.
Because there was one day. It was in the summer, and it was a couple of years ago. We were at a wedding up. Oh God, the place. It's in the valley with Tregnago. Or maybe it's
near my place.
Yeah, maybe it's the one before. No, sorry, it's the valley that goes up towards Montorio.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were at a wedding reception there, and I remember the rain started, and everybody had to come inside, of course. But when we actually went to leave, it was like 10 centimeters of water on the road. The road was just like a river. When we got here, which is the other side of the city, the roads were actually closed because there's just so much water. So it was really quite ideal for Verona in August. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's good. What about the long weekend next week? Is anybody going away, or is that?
It's not longer for me.
No.
We go to school on Friday.
Okay.
Are you? It is. I'm going. There is il ponte. Il 2-3. Noi facciamo il ponte.
No, we don't.
For us, just one day.
Just
the 2nd of June, and no more.
We have 31st of May is a patron saint, so holiday. The 2nd of June, the 3rd and the 4th, because it is Saturday. So at assaggio, a taste of holidays.
Already.
Yeah, and before the exam. Of course.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just checking this because I just wanted to see whether there's anything. Here it says. Okay. Oh no. No, we just got. I think it's just the 2nd, which is a bit of a pain. So this is
2nd of June, Festa della Repubblica.
Yeah, Festa della Repubblica. And then that's it. Okay, but anyway, yeah, we're nearly at the end now, aren't we? So it's that's okay. Okay, so what we did last time, there's only a few of us. Again, there's only a few people. What we did last time is we had a look at some exercises to do with
passive forms.
Yeah, we had a look at some passive forms, which I think was sort of fairly okay. But then we had a look at some of these exercises which were to do with word conversions. So we had some. I'll put an example up because I think it's easier to see this. And I think these are actually quite useful just as let's say just as vocabulary exercises from one point of view. And I think these come up, this type of exercise is useful also because there's a variant of it which comes up in the exam. Now, I don't know whether you can see this okay. I've tried to make it as big as possible. But what we're looking at is where are we? Yeah, no, we did this one. I think this is the one that, sorry, I'm trying to find my way around this file actually. Okay, yeah, the PDF's always, yeah, we've got this, this exercise where we're looking to find the different forms of the words. So you're given a noun, or you're given a verb, or you're given an adjective, and it's useful to try and find the other forms. So I'll give you a few minutes to have a look at this, exercise, and see what you make of it. Not so that we are doing that. Okay, how are you doing? You okay? You know, you finished?
Okay.
Right, okay, so let's see what we've got. So, start with the first one. Flattery.
No.
No.
The verb is to flatter.
Yeah, to flatter. What does that mean?
When you make too many compliments to another person.
Yeah, it's sort of when you're making sort of excessive compliments. Yeah, it sounds like it might be something to do with stirare, but it's not. To make flat, yeah, to flatter. Okay. So what's the adjective? What would you give as the adjective form? Got flattery, to flatter.
Flatten.
No.
Flattered.
Flattering?
Flattered.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're,
Not
yeah.
flattering.
No. Flattering will be. Oh, hold on a minute. That's not very flattering. Actually, no. That's not very flattering. No, I think you're right. Actually, it's flattering. Yes, flattering. That's not very flattering. That dress is not very flattering. In other words, it doesn't suit you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Flattering.
Flattered doesn't exist. Flattered.
Flattered. I suppose it would exist if there's the verb, because it's the past participle of the verb. So, was flattered. I was flattered to receive this invitation. Okay.
I was asking why under the noun there are another space. Does it exist two nouns for these for the same meaning and the same with the same root?
Flattery. Don't know. It's not a word I come across. Let's see if I can find something here. Sure. Just have a look. Some synonyms. Synonyms of flattery. No. There's nothing that's so close. It doesn't seem to be things which are so close, but
probably there is a flatterer. That is the person.
That's a person. Yeah, that's a person who flatters.
Too many compliments.
Yeah. So unless that, yeah, maybe they're counting that. Flatterer, a person who flatters. Okay. What about the next one? To instruct.
Instructions.
Yes, instruction.
Instructive.
Instructive, yeah. Okay, sounds good. Straight. Straight.
I was thinking when you go straight on at
the. Okay. I think that the verb here is to straighten.
To straighten.
To straighten.
Straighten.
To straighten. But I must confess I'm a little bit stuck with the with the nouns. It would appear that there are two of them. So let's just straight.
Straight.
Okay, so the noun.
Is it possible to have a noun the same like the adjective?
Yes, it is.
I think so.
Yes,
I think
it is. I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure about the set. There seems to be a second one as well, but that doesn't immediately come to mind. Oh, they're all sort of fairly straight path, straight ahead. Straight. Okay. Okay. What about expect?
Expectation.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. What about the adjective? I'm terrible at this. Sorry?
I just invented expectative.
Why not? But it, no. We've got expectation, expect. I'm expecting.
I was thinking about expectively, but is it an adverb?
No, well, it would be if it's got an ly on the end. It would be. Expect. Let's just see what we got. Expectation. Obvious this one. Expecting.
Expected.
Expecting. You could also say it expected as well, I think, because it's something. It's one of those where you use the past of the verb as the adjective. Yeah. Expected. Yeah. Okay. Desperate. Ideas, Barbara? It's quite. I think
despair, but it is not despair.
It's similar to the Italian. It's similar to the Italian.
Desperation?
Yeah.
Inglese maccheronico.
No, it's true. Desperation.
True.
Desperation.
Okay.
Yeah. And what about the verb?
Verb, I don't know. Disperarsi.
Is it the same as the adjective?
To desperate. I was finding this one a little bit.
To despair. Despair.
No, I would say to be desperate.
To be desperate.
I can't desperately, no. Desperation, no. To desperate, no. I think it's got to be to be desperate. You are desperate. It's a state.
To be desperate. So what's the noun, please?
The noun desperation. Desperate. I'll put it on the chat.
And desperation, to be desperate.
And desperate. Yeah.
And desperate. Okay.
What about apply?
Application.
Appliance.
This is horrible, this one. There are
applying. can be applied.
Okay, so you've got appliance, you've got applied, application as well.
Yeah.
Application. Applicable. Because we've got two adjectives here, applicable and applied, I think. Yeah.
Applicable.
It's a bit more complicated, this one. What about compliment?
To make compliments.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, yeah, you can make a compliment, or you can compliment someone. Let me compliment you on your excellent presentation. Yeah, so that's straight away. Adjective.
Complimented, does it exist?
No, I complimented. Yeah, but as the past of the verb. So yeah, I complimented him on his excellent project. Not sure whether complimentary works here. Trying to think, or are we? Is it going away off the track? Compliment. Complement. Complementary. Complemented. See if I can find something here. No. 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 Compliment. I think probably complimented. I think that's the best. Yes, complimented. Okay, some of these are pretty tricky. These are pretty tricky, as you can see. Okay. Okay, so we've got this is sorry. This is just another. It's just new vocabulary thing. So it's looking at the best choice of words. How you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think for number one?
Cumulative effect
Mm.
of decades.
Yeah, it's cumulative. Okay. What about number two?
Rain.
Torrential rain, yes. Torrential. So this is where the Italian helps you, because it's it's the same. Yeah. What about number
Do
three?
you need, sorry, Gordon, do you need any, like, if there is a torrential rain, you don't say,
No.
I was expecting
Rain is torrential. Okay, it's just an adjective. It's just an adjective.
Torrential rain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point. But no, you don't need. There's no article here. You could say there is a torrential rainstorm, but that's because it's a storm, and torrential just qualifies it.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about number three?
Heat wave.
Heat wave. Yes, exactly. Exactly. What about number four?
Below.
Below freezing.
Okay. Number five?
Political commitment.
This would be political commitment. Yeah. Okay. What about number six?
Your carbon footprint.
Okay. Number seven?
Gas caps are melting.
Yeah. And number eight?
Right.
Drought.
Yeah, siccità.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those words.
Confused.
Yeah, one of those words which sort of comes out every so often.
I thought that the pronounce was a draft, so it was fun.
No, pronunciation. No, you're thinking. Well, okay, I'll put this on the chat, because you've got, this is draft with an A. Okay, this is draft. This would be un spifero. Okay, it's also the beer that you get in the pub that comes from the draft beer. Yeah. It's also it's also the depth of a ship, draft of a ship. It's how high the ship is in the water. It's also the game drafts, which is scacchi. Yeah. No, not scacchi. No, it's oh good lord, what's it called? It's the one where you have the black ones and the white ones, and they all have the same value.
The same like dama.
Dama. Sì. Sì, esatto. So it's all of these things. Drought, draft, yes. Okay, yeah. Now, okay, let's just move on. Right. I'm just wondering, actually, I think I prefer to do another exercise. Let's say speaking exercise. Just see if I can. Oh, that didn't save. Hold on a minute. Just 1 second. Maybe you can help me. Yeah. There it is. It's a bit strange. Okay, right. I'm just going to stop the share and change the sharing screen. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see this okay?
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know what it's done there. It's strange because I haven't used Paint for about 1 million years, I think. Really strange to see that it still exists. Oops. And it really was a bad program. There we go. Right. Okay. So this is just some sort of stuff for speaking. So give you a couple of seconds just to bear some thoughts about this, and then we can have a bit of a discussion, I think. Okay. You're right, Sandra.
The advantages and disadvantages of computers and mobile phones. Well, computers can do things in a second or even less, and so the speed of what they can do in compared to human beings. And through computers, you can reach people on the other side of the world with mobile phones too.
Yeah. So they can be really useful for communication.
The communication can be quicker. But you can be addicted as well, because people, you can talk to someone who is in the States, for example, but then at the same time, you don't talk to someone who is your neighbor, for example. So it helps communication in a way, and it doesn't help like face-to-face communication. For example, mobile phones, people send messages and then they don't talk even on the phone anymore. It's just sending messages.
Do you can I just ask in general, how do people feel about these WhatsApp messages? It's like instead of someone writing something, they speak, they send you an audio message. What do you feel about that?
Yes.
What do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel I can understand that the people it can be quicker.
It doesn't seem to be quicker.
No, quicker instead of writing, I mean.
No, but I'm just thinking about I've listened to my daughter do this sometimes, and it's like it takes her about it seems to take her about 3 times as long to say what she could have said in like 3 words. But I don't know. But do you like it? Oops. Do you like these messages?
Not very much. I feel that I can understand that maybe people send messages or send like audio messages because they don't want to disturb the other person. They are afraid of, or maybe they are busy, so I will send a message. But at the same time, I feel that it's a bit cold. Like less interaction between among the people.
Yeah, or between the people. Yeah. Well, it's just strange because I've seen I've had examples where it's almost like a phone conversation, but it's just like a sentence at a time, and it's like this is really, really weird.
Yeah. And I sometimes I ask myself, why don't they phone each other?
Yeah.
Instead of sending, I don't know. It's something that I don't really understand very well.
What about you, Barbara? Yeah. Sorry, I'm the same, Christine, Sandra. I'm the same. What about you, Barbara? What do you think about these WhatsApp messages?
Oh, okay. I think that sometimes they're useful because you can send a message and the other person can read it when they're free, or they can do, and so you don't disturb them. Maybe eating at lunchtime, at dinner time, or whenever. But at the same time, okay, it could be better a phone call because it is immediate. Sometimes just because the other person does not answer immediately, you get nervous. So I told sometimes my children, so call him, call them, because it is quicker indeed. You can have the answer you want immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit strange, isn't it? It's this sort of like it's like a fragmented, distanced sort of conversation. It's a bit just
like
a bit...
indirect life. It's like
yeah. It's like there's a sort of like sort of a distance. But of course, when we grew up, there was a phone call or there was a letter, but then there wasn't this instantaneous or this expectation of instantaneous communication, which I think is sort of quite something which is characteristic of the modern world. What about you? What do you think, Christina? Do you think it's...
Yes, I agree with all of you. And sometimes for me, it's not easy to listen these messages, voice messages, because in some circumstances, I can't listen to them. For instance, if I'm in a public situation, so they are not so useful and easy. Probably it's better to read short messages, written messages, but short, not too much long.
Yeah, not too long, not too long.
Yeah, not too long.
We don't need them much. We don't need them much. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes if I see that there's a recorded message, if I open it and I feel like I can't really, I don't really want to listen to it, I'll just write back saying I can't hear the track. So can you tell? Can you write it down? So no, it's I mean it's pros and cons, isn't it? I mean, what about ready meals? I don't think you guys probably eat ready meals, apart from maybe a pizza from a pizzeria.
I don't buy them very often because I also enjoy cooking and preparing them. But if you are in a hurry, sometimes you don't have time to cook pasta, wait for the water to boil, put pasta in the water, and so on, preparing the sauce or whatever. Maybe you can buy a ready meal, but it is not so, maybe sometimes better than yours, but not always. Usually,
I think so.
Isn't very good.
Yeah. What do you think, Christina? Do you think there's an advantage or disadvantage?
I was thinking about ready meals just 1 week ago, while I was working in the city center of Verona, and it was during the night, around midnight or 11 o'clock. I was very relaxed. I realized that a man cycling on his bike was immediately cross the street. So I was really very surprised, and I saw many men doing this kind of job.
Oh yeah.
So I thought, poor man, you know, not.
You mean the riders who bring the ready meals to people? Yeah.
I saw a lot of riders, especially near the city center. So it was really strange for me, and you know, things are changing. So I agree that there are some pros about ready meals, but I really do not appreciate it a lot.
Do you think that? Well, I mean, this is just generally for the group. I mean, do you think? You think this growth in ordering a meal from a restaurant, whereas once upon a time it was a pizza, it was just a pizza. Yeah, you'd phone up and the student of the situation would bring you your pizza on a Sunday night or whenever it is. Yeah, but it's obviously it seems to have expanded to restaurants, and there's all sorts of stuff. Do you think this is changing the way young people learn how to cook, or is it changing their attitude? Do you think it's changing their attitude to cooking and food preparation?
I think that there is a sort of fashion because nowadays, if you watch TV, there are a lot of publicity about different apps related to ready meals. So I think that there is an influence during these years, but I'm not sure if this will be our future, because like Barbara, I prefer to cook if I have time. And if I don't have time, there are a lot of frozen food. But in general, I prefer to make by myself.
Yeah, make it yourself. Yeah, because I think the other thing is it must be quite expensive if you're constantly buying stuff from a restaurant or from a pizzeria or wherever. What about the health aspect of it, Sandra? Do you think it's healthy?
Well, it's convenient if you don't have time, but I don't think that it's very healthy, because you don't know how it is cooked. It's like going out to eat every night. Apart that it's more expensive, but also you don't really know. My friend, her partner is a cook, and she says that he wouldn't like to go out to eat, because you don't know how
he knows
people
what happens in the kitchen.
Exactly. Exactly.
Does anybody ever watch what's he called? Cannavacciuolo. I can't remember his name.
No.
Do you ever watch it's not Hell's
Yes.
Kitchen, that's the other
I do. And if you watch him or his program, probably you think more when you choose a restaurant.
Well, yeah. Yeah, have you ever been in a restaurant after having seen one of his programs? Have you ever been in a restaurant and you've sort of spotted the different people in the restaurant and the roles that they play? Have you ever done that?
No.
Or it was when was it? It was a few months ago. We went to a restaurant and it was. We said this is going to be on that program in about a year's time because it was going in that direction.
When I was young, I worked in a kitchen during the summertime to earn enough money for the university. And I saw so many strange things. But I was in a very safe condition because it was a restaurant for young people, sport groups. So the kitchen was very curated and clean, but I saw some strange things at the same time.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. Does anyone have any stories of really, let's say, bad restaurants that they would never go back to? Now, you don't. Whatever you do, don't say the name of the place. Okay, but
no. But some years ago, I was at the sea at the sea place.
At the seaside.
At the seaside, and I looked and searched for, or I looked for, do you know when you search on your mobile phone, some places that are really that is really very recommended to go in or to try it. So I trust about these followers. It was a really very bad experience, and I remained I remained in the bed for 2 days.
Really? So you were ill?
Probably some plates or some food. It was all the dishes with something related to the fish. Probably something was not very safe.
It's
or in good conditions.
Yeah, it's common with seafood. What about you, Sandra? Do you have any
I found a snail
tales of terror from the kitchen?
I found a snail in the salad.
Now, that depends because here in Verona, according to where you are, you might actually eat it.
But it was just one, and it wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, okay, so
we eat them only if they are cooked for many hours.
I have tried Bogoni and polenta, and I must confess, of all of the things that I tried, it's one of the things that I really do not like them at all. It's like eating.
Did you enjoy that?
It's like eating rubber bands. It's like you go to Buffetti and get a box of elastics and elastics with polenta. Yeah, my favorite.
Because it depends on the sauce that is with.
Yeah, let's just say there are better things to try. So you found a snail in your in
I
your
think
salad?
the snail enjoyed the salad more than me. I think.
Right. Okay. What did you say? Did you complain?
Oh yes, of course.
And what did they say? What did they say? They said, "Oh, we'll give you
they
free.
said sorry, and
We'll give you a free
yes,
salad
they were
with
really
more
sorry.
I don't order a raw salad or lettuce or whatever. Only cooked things.
Yeah, anything. It's got to be boiled to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only chips, potatoes, cooked vegetables. So
yeah, something that's been fried because you know it's high temperature. Yeah, I once
said
found,
that I didn't order any snail.
I once found.
So I didn't complain in a bad way. I just said that I didn't order the snail.
No. I found this was one time in Geneva. I found it was half of a screw from the machine in the kitchen. Yeah, una vite. Yeah, metà. Okay, so I was sort of something like. Okay, so I instantly went to I didn't wait for the waiter. I went to the front desk and said, look, I'm not going to make a fuss of it, but I've just found this in my food. You better check all of your machines because something bad could happen. I mean, it's easy to break a tooth on something like that, but if you swallow it, it can be a real problem. But the worst one, the worst one, not in terms of what we were eating, but in terms of the service, was it was a trattoria in Catania, and only at the end did we understand how the thing actually worked. Basically, they took the orders and then they waited, and I'm not joking, they waited for Nonna to cook them. So all of the pasta got cooked at the same time. So you arrived at 7:30 and you had to wait until 9 o'clock to get your pasta because she only put one pot of pasta on. It was unbelievable. We were there, and there were couples and people at the other tables, and everyone was sort of looking around. What's happening here? Well, the food, when it arrived, it was okay, but it was clear that the grandma was only cooking one pot of pasta that evening. So yeah, ready meals. Yeah. What about something? We got this thing about medicine. What do you think about medicine, advantages and disadvantages for as an aspect of modern life? Do you think?
Difficult to say. When in the past there weren't so many medicines, people couldn't be healed better than they can do now. You may mention, not to mention the antibiotics.
Yes, of course. Antibiotics, yes.
Antibiotics. How is the spelling?
You can say it either way. You can either say antibiotics,
antibiotics, and for instance,
no, it would be antibiotics.
And so we have many, but also they are so expensive, and you have also to go to the doctor to get a recipe. Otherwise, they won't
get the prescription.
Yeah, prescription. Otherwise,
well, I'll put it
the
on here.
chemist won't give that medicine.
Yeah, because this is.
Couldn't do without.
Yeah. I mean, I think the availability of many medicines these days has sort of changed life for many people. But it always seems that there are new things which are discovered and which need new medicines. So I don't know. What do you think, Christina?
Well, I think that probably we have, in some circumstances, to make a step behind,
a step
and
back,
reduce,
a step back,
a step back.
Sorry,
a step back.
No, that's the phrase, to take a step backwards or take a step back.
Take a step back, because we don't have to be addicted to many medicines, but to have the patience, because in some circumstances we don't really need to use them. We just have to wait, for instance, for the flu or high temperature, you know, things that are not so dangerous. And because in this way our body can be stronger for the future. So we have to use them because they are really very important for our life, but only when they are necessary. We don't have to be addicted to them.
We shouldn't be addicted to them. Yeah. I mean, I think that's true. That's true. Okay. What about cars? What about cars? Advantages and disadvantages of cars. I think this is starting to become quite a topic now, quite an important topic. Using cars or not using cars. Barbara, do you go around on a bike?
We can't live without. We are 4 in my family, and 3 have got the driving license. We have 2 cars, and we would need third one.
A third one.
But not for now. Anyway, you can't do anything without. You can't live without them. But they are expensive for keeping them.
Once upon a time, people did live without them.
Once people lived, but maybe I couldn't go and to work 13, 15 kilometers away from my home.
No, that's true.
Couldn't go to the lake, the mountains as much as I want. Okay, but of course they are expensive. You have to go to fix them to the mechanic, petrol, insurance, and other taxes. So they cost a lot, and they pollute a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing, isn't it? It's What about you, Sandra? Do you use a bicycle or a monopattine?
No. I have a car, but I try to use it as less as possible. Just when I really need.
As little as possible.
As little as possible. As little as possible. And yes, it's very old, and it gives too much pollution.
Yeah, it's quite polluting. Yeah. So when you don't use the car, what do you do? Do you use the bicycle, or do you use public transport?
I'm lucky because I work in the same place where I live. So, but in the past, where I worked far, I always took the train. But also there were problems because the trains were cancelled, so it's hard also. If you want to use the public transports, it's quite difficult. But now I'm
because it's not very reliable, is it?
Exactly, yes. And also now I can walk, or I can use the bike.
Okay. What about you, Christina? Do you manage to use a bicycle, or are you stuck with a car?
I can ride only during the weekends because
okay.
for my job, I had to use I have to use the car.
Yeah, you live too far away.
Yes, and the roads are very with a lot of traffic, and it is dangerous if you go by car because I have to cross Statale and go under a railway or over how can I say autostrada?
The motorway.
The motorway. So it's too difficult. If you want to change your habit, probably it's better if I change my house. And go in another place.
Or change your job so that it's closer to your house.
Well, I think that I appreciate my job as a primary teacher, so no, I don't want to change it.
Okay, so you have to change your house then.
Yeah, a better house.
Or a different house in a different area. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. So, right. So I think there's a few things up there on the chat. So I think we have one more. We have one more session. I think. Now, I sent a message to Caroline, telling her I had said to do it on Wednesday next week, but I can't make Wednesday, so I'm going to suggest doing it on Monday. Okay. So I'll see what she says. Hopefully Monday will be okay. It should be okay for me. It's just that Wednesday's a bit difficult because I think we're going away next weekend, so it's going to be a bit of a
Monday the 30th. You think?
Yes.
Monday